So I've got my hoop on, and I have put on there a single layer. I hope you can see this. It's no-show mesh. Lots of companies make it. I don't know which one this is, but I buy it from Amazon. You can get bro thread. You can get, this is probably Amazon's own make. I'll put a link underneath of what I got. This one is wider. I was using a shorter one where it just about clipped under these bits. Worked fine for the other, 11. But I thought I would show you on the last one exactly what I do. So that's now hooked up on my machine, and if I just swing you around, so can you see this, is the Santa Claus coming out of the chimney. That is the last one that I'm going to sew out, so now I've got to put you back where I want you. Now when it comes to the wadding and the fabric, I've cut the wadding, I cut the wadding, approximately 8 inch. I've cut my top fabric, and I have starched that, and as you can see, I finger pressed across. So if I just do that over here a second, if I plot that on to the wedding backing, to the webbing, this is in the naught position for this next one. It's not done anything yet. So as long as I've done 2 rounds of holding down, just in case you want to do the webbing first or the batting first and then do your top material. But if you do it in one go as I do, then you can just skip through the ivory because you've already done it, right? So I do it in one go, because it's easy for me that when I put that needle right over my cross to start, and I need to make sure that my thing is lined, it's not on a skew or anything, And then the next thing that I do is I just press that, obviously I'm going to hold it down. A lot of people put sellotape, painter's tape, which you can, yes, why not? Put painter's tape on it, hold it down firmly. I suppose because I'm used to doing this a lot, I'm like, I include it anyway. So I kind of be lazy on that. So then I go and I press start on the machine. I've got metallic in, and the first thing it's going to do is the first round to just hold everything down. And what I tend to do is just follow it to make sure that nothing untoward is happening. It knows where it's going, more or less. Just, I pulled that because I wasn't happy with that not going to that position. I'll smooth it out again. And I'm using metallic thread right now on my machine. And I'll talk to you about metallic threads on another day, right? But this is quite a, I'm using polyester, Hobbs polyester wadding, so it's, it's fairly substantial wadding, cheap wadding, polyester. After all, I'm not getting into it, I'm not sleeping with it, I don't need to be warm, I just want it to give me the result that I want. If I was sleeping under it, I would use Hobbs Heirloom, which is 80-20, 80% cotton, 20% polyester, because then I know I got the warmth of the cotton. Or, there's another one, Hobbs Bamboo. Oh, that's lovely too. But they are a much less depth of wadding. But I wanted something fairly bouncy for this, and this is what I use when I'm doing household products rather than bedding products. So that's done now. Now, having done that, the next thing is this, you're going to do ivory, which you're going to do it all again. So if you haven't done it in one go as I have done, you could have done your polyester first, and then you could have done your cotton, But I've done it, so I'm skipping through the next step, And then I'm taking out the silver, because we don't need that now. The reason the silver was in there is because that's where I left off in the last square. So now I am just going to pop in my red metallic. Now, I'm using metallic, which is why you are finding on these files there are cut stitches, because as everybody knows, metallics are not easy to work with, right? But having got your metallic working nicely for you, I'm just giving that a little, oh no, I probably got it in there too much. Having got your metallics working for you, once you start, you really don't want to stop. So I'm just going to lock that out a moment so I can thread my needle. Oh, hello, who's listening? Thread my needle. Thank you. And then I need to just cut off my excess. Okay, so I've just changed the colour. Now I'm on a red metallic. And yes, I did. I have done a couple of adjustments on my machine, because this metallic that I'm actually using, if you look at it over my finger, is on it's like 60 weight metallic. Now it's not a normal metallic, and we'll talk about that, okay? But it is a metallic that I know will work quite nicely with my machine. It does cause problems. Nothing is ever easy with metallic, but it's something I can run straight off the spool, more or less, with not too many problems straight away. With some metallics, that you can go 2 inches and that's your lot. So that's something we'll talk about another time. So I'm going to take the machine off a lock, and it's ready to go on to the red part. So I'm just going to let that sew out now. As I said, I'm using a Janome MC15000. Yes, this is not a new one. It is up to date. It's all like the quilt maker, got everything on it that I do. But however, this machine now is 8 years old, yeah? And it's working absolutely fine. I got no reason to want to change it whatsoever. I think I've had it, well, because I do an awful lot of things myself, being the type of person that I am. But yeah, I did have it serviced once, but I look after. I mean, for example, in this hot weather now, yeah, we've had this spell in July and August. I'll put underneath there. I know the machine says, oh, no, you never need to oil it, right? However, in where my spool is, underneath my spool, where the bottom thread is, I always use the 6 to 8 bottom thread when I'm embroidering, and there's a little wick. Now I will put a spot, 1 spot of oil every fortnight, and what I'm using, because I also cut my dogs, right, I'm using a wool oil, clipper oil, yeah, and I just give it 1 spot every fortnight during the summer, because obviously during the summer this room is hot, everybody's room is hot, and it will dry anything that's supposed to be a tinsy bit damp. So as you can see now, here's Father Christmas doing his bits. This is red work, so the idea, like if it was true on red work, it should be absolutely 2 covers of stitching around. Well, you know, because this is metallic and because it's such a thin thread, if you're using a normal thread, which is more likely to be a 50 to 40 weight embroidery thread, then you will see it's going to come out thicker than this. Doesn't matter. But because I specifically wanted to do this in a metallic thread, some parts, important parts to me, are actually more than 2 rounds of cover. But, you know, horses for courses. I'm going to be doing also, aside from this, which are the blocks, the initial blocks, I'll also show you, I'm going to do this as red work on a baby's onesie, right? Which, and I won't use metallic. It's a different process because obviously you need your cloud form underneath, so there's nothing that is annoying the child or giving it itchy, you know, what's happening. That's another thing. We'll come on to that. So I'm just going to let this run for a moment, and I'm hoping I've got enough camera so that it will. There's always one of those things, isn't it? I mean, I'm using this, it's kind of a winey Christmas colour, metallic thread, and my background base is a very light grey, okay, a linen look white, linen look grey. I think it is great. The sash in between these squares is going to be wine cotton, yeah, the same company, and I think it's going to look great. What else can I tell you? Oh, as I've said, as I put some of these videos up on, there are 2 free files up on Facebook, our group, and as I said, well, you know, at the end of the day, because it's metallic, and once you've got metallic running, you do not want to stop it. Once it's running, you don't. So there may be, or may not be, I don't think in this design, but in some of the other designs where there are smaller parts, there may be a couple of cut files, which you can then do with your tweezers and your scissors before you take it out of the hoop. But it's better to allow it to just run through like this. Well, I've got 7 minutes left now with this, but I'll let it go. You can fast forward. Another 7 minutes is just doing this, yeah? Oh, also, this one is a 6-inch finished square, which I am going to sash as quilt as you go. Not the back, but the front as quilt as you go. But I'm also going to put these up as a complete 8-inch square, which means to say, you know, that's 8-inch finish. This is 6-inch finish, but in an 8-inch hoop. What else can I tell you? And I am going to put them up smaller. I'm also going to do them. Oh, it's finished already. I'm also going to do them in a 4-inch size, so you can shove that into a 4-inch hoop, and then that's up to you. You can make coasters and bind it individually, or you can make a smaller version, but a 4-inch size. Okay, so I'm open. You know, you're going to get all of it. There are altogether 16. There are altogether 16 files, including the front. You'll see when I finish. Plus, there will be a few of them that I've done without the background, so you don't need the background, that you can then use. You know, some of the funny ones. Did that go through or no? No. I don't think it did. Right, okay. You know, the little ones like but the bigger Father Christmas and, oh, I don't know, I can't remember what it is. Oh, the reindeer maybe. I'll do a couple with no background on and size to go on a baby's onesie, yeah? So then you can just do that. And we'll show you within all of these files how that's done on my web page, right? But I thought, you know, having done so far, this is the 12th file, I thought, well, I got to show you one, so you know what to do with it, all the way through, yeah? Excuse me. You see, I just got to get my thread out, right. So now, there is, oh, I should cut that thread, there is going to be an offset around Father Christmas, and then it'll go in, I think, am I doing, I don't know. Some backgrounds are shapes and some background is your vermicelli or, you know, just, what's it? You'll see, right? So where am I now? Oh. That one. And start. So as I said, I'm using, ooh. You see, I heard that. Stop. I heard that, didn't I? Straight away, ooh, I know my ready machine. And when it does that, I think, what are you up to? There's something. Well, I'm lucky because I got one of these machines with a pop-up plate. I'm showing this and I'm keeping this on camera. You see, there's the bit that flipping went wrong, which is actually, it's still in there. There's actually a top thread, as it does with metallics. I've lost its metallic part of it and didn't do it. I'm just looking around, and there's, if you can see this on camera, I just tilt it up and show you. Right in the well of here, see where my scissors are pointing to? That's the bit I put a drop of oil in. So even if your machine says, oh, you can actually do that. Oh, and as I got the top off, here we go. Oh, not too bad. There's nothing there. No metallics. So I'm just going to put my spool holder back in, and yeah, with no thread in, I'm pulling the crank handle towards me. Pull it towards you means that you're going the way that the sewing machine goes, and so then I can put my, this is bottom thread, 68. See how fine, how very fine that is? Can you see? Yeah, that goes in the bottom. Should use it when you're piecing your quilts too. Marble stuff gives you a much more accurate quilt. Anyway, so that's in now, and now my darling bit of sorry if I'm bumping the camera. I'm just gonna move that. Oh, it's up good, isn't it? Where are you? I gotta open the door now to see where I am. Right. Come up, you little sod. Right. I don't. Let's start again. It's very difficult because I got 2 foot of space I can't get my hands into. Right, so I've gone round there, down there, shut my door, right? Taking that down there, and it's got to go through that big one and through that little one, and then out to the side, and then we're going to lock it off and move this so that my light is on to say, yeah. There he goes. He's in, right? Get rid of my spare. Oh, actually, here's a thought for you. What do you do with all your spare threads? If I just put my camera down, see that one? See this one? That's my thread cutter. See? That's my thread catcher. Yeah? Which, if I show you, you see there's the top, which could be a pincushion. But I've put stuff in it, so it's heavy enough to keep it there as me. What do you do? I always work with that right there. Whoop. Ready for me as I go, because otherwise it'd be all over the floor, wouldn't it? Right, so I've just loaded that back up. If you go onto the Facebook, what am I doing this on? I'm doing this one on Lovelock, aren't I? But take that out, put my thing back into there, put my ear back on, and should go lock it in. Right, and go back to reverse it, the way it just off the red, because none of it came out. Alright, okay, so now we're moving it on back onto the silver again. Hopefully this time we will get a proper stitch. There we go. So yeah, on Crafty So-and-so's Facebook group, and it's also Crafty So-and-so's YouTube channel. Want to make yourself a thread catcher using a bit of corset boning, well, it's plastic, and so it stands out so that you can use it. All these patterns are up there if you want to do it. So now it's going to start on the background. Now on this one, I have done the cut-offs on it because there's so many different things that I am actually embroidering, I've added to it and changed it and moved it, but they're kind of standalone. This is not your sort of vermicelli background, so I have done the cut-offs on this, hoping that it's going to work. So I got all of my fingers crossed. But however, if you know, this is what you want to do, and I got to move around the camera here. I got a bit of, I can see it. Silver, take it, put it in me wasser. Silver, oop, it's moving, take it, put it in me wasser. So as this stitching out, if there isn't one on that one, if there is like your tails, I tend to cut them as I go along. If you're sat here watching it anyway, I have to say that when I'm doing embroidery, I tend to be right with it, because otherwise it's always when you look away it happens, isn't it? And this machine is pretty good. If it's got a nice cut and it's working well, the tail will disappear into the fabric as you're going. Yeah, and this is a bit of a long video, I know, but I just wanted to show you just one square start to finish. Okay? These were I put stars on it to start with, and then I thought, oh, do you know what? I need some snowflakes here. Well, it's a bit early, isn't it? Christmas in August, but, you know, the sooner you line up in your own mind's eye what you may or may not want to do for your personal home or for gifts in 2022, the better it is you can plan ahead. I don't know on camera whether this is actually coming out, because it is metallic. I can see I've got a wonderful glint here. It's like tinsel, but it probably come out a bit dead on camera. I did have to pop out of the room and pop back. So are we still all alright, loves? Yeah, it looks like it. Now you can see the snowflake part of it coming out. I mean, I have to say, I do take a lot of time and trouble. I mean, each star, well, I did the star and then I did the snowflake, and then I have to manipulate them different sizes, different angles, what have you. But everything on here I have drawn myself, so, you know, and this is the output of it. And I think this must have been now, it's slightly different because I changed things, but this must be the third time now I've tested, well, this is not tested, it's just a good go now in my finished quilt. But it's the third time I've sewn this one. So I do test and test to make sure that there are no problems before I put it on the market and sell it to consumers like yourself. And that's one file. Now, if you take into consideration that I'm doing, hopefully, this is going to end up as 16 files because you've not seen yet the middle. So I've done 12 that circle the middle if you're doing it in a square. There's another 4 to come, so that's 16 files. And, oh, it's finished. And I'm doing it in this size, I'm doing it in a 4-inch size as well. I'm doing it with and without background, so you multiply them up, you've got an awful lot of files for the price. Okay, so that one's done now. I'm going to take it off the machine and go and I think this. Ooh, what can I see? Diffo C. One long thread there. Any more? No. I might do as I take it off. Take that off now and I'll go and square it up so it's got a 1/2 inch all the way around, ready to go into the quilts.